Hello and welcome to a video I've been meaning to make for some time now, though I've struggled a little bit until now to properly collect and articulate my thoughts. But I want to talk about Battleborn's pivot to free-to-play. For a quick background, I've been playing Battleborn for a long fucking time. I went into the beta not knowing almost anything about the game, and wasn't totally sold on the experience until I found a character that suited my playstyle. In this case, shortly after, I went to PAX East with my partner and was pleasantly surprised even more by what I saw there. Though I'm willing to admit maybe I was a little more swayed towards positivity due to getting to spend time with my partner at such a fucking awesome event. Once back from PAX, I pre-ordered the Digital Deluxe Edition, and I've been playing since. I've stuck with the game through glory and through problems, and have largely been happy with the changes to visuals and unlocks. Hell, it's the reason I decided to start making videos again a little over a year ago now. Needless to say, I'm a little invested in this game. It's really no secret that the game has faced some struggles, from frankly bizarre comparisons to fairly poor marketing. Hell, allegedly even internally the release was fraught with troubles over pricing between Gearbox and 2K. The game was intended to be cheaper or free-to-play, but 2K apparently mandated the full price release. Now there's another price change, and that's gonna maybe rustle some feathers, so to speak. But as for my feelings, I'm mostly pleased with the change in all honesty. But to quote Newt from the hit film Aliens, mostly. It'd be difficult to argue that more players are a bad thing at all, and though queue times still suffer outside of peak hours, there's a very clear improvement all around. It's been wonderful seeing an already kind and open community welcoming so many new players with open arms. Not only have player counts increased, but I've also seen views on all Battleborn content go up as people begin to understand the game or grow more curious. In general, it seems like the community is growing significantly without sacrificing its awesome openness and friendliness. I normally don't play PvP in games, but it's been kind of difficult to not jump in with the new and improved queue times, some of which have even begun to splash over into my personal preference, story mode. I do, however, have two concerns that I'm hoping Gearbox approaches in some way. But first, I want to make something very clear. This isn't a video simply whining about video games on the internet. I'd like to think the feedback and suggestions I offer in addition to the issues are in any way useful for perspective at the very least. Now firstly, new players being forced into new queues and not being given the choice to queue into true public matches until about rank 20. This isn't a massive concern or upset, but really it just seems odd to want to get off part of the community or restricting player choice in a game so largely about just that. Sure, they could include a warning on such queues about skill disparity, but the Force division just seems like an odd choice to me personally. My second issue is actually the reason I've been so scattered with my thoughts, because it partially relies on the future, but I'll get back to that later. That issue is the treatment of founders and those who have bought the Digital Deluxe Edition. A quick rundown of what all founders received. 1,000 Platinum, the equivalent of roughly around $6.60 US. 50,000 credits, a quote-unquote founder title, 2 palette swap skins, and then a handful of loot packs. I've been torn on the value proposition of these rewards for a while, but ultimately always come back to them feeling fairly insignificant and a little bit underwhelming. First off, let's talk about the Platinum, as it's the only item with real-world economic significance. It's not a lot, really enough for 1 or 2 skins at most. A quick example, I chose to buy Deondi's Infiltrator skin recently, which costs 700 Platinum, leaving me with enough to only get a taunt. It's kind of baffling, really. The number is a pretty bizarre choice with the premium content's pricing. Really, if it had even been 400 plat higher to allow you to buy 2 premium skins maybe, it would make more sense, and that would still keep the rewards relative price under $10 American. As for the other rewards there, I really don't care about any of them personally. The title I'll probably never use. I already had a remarkable surplus of credits and a bank full of my collection of legendary gear. And hell, while writing this part, I honestly forgot about the skins included and had to scroll back up to check if I was missing anything. Now, like I said earlier, the point of this video isn't just to throw a fit, but rather to offer some alternative paths or advice going forwards if possible. The first and probably most mutually beneficial choice for Gearbox to take would be to offer founders and Digital Deluxe owners a permanent discount for skins and taunts. It doesn't have to be anything severe. 10 to 15% sounds right to me, but that's keeping in mind I have very little economic awareness with microtransactions. But it would just be more of a sign of good faith from Gearbox, while also encouraging the sales of premium customizations. A win for both sides in some ways, while still offering concessions to the other. But what's really the biggest recommendation for me, and what I hope at least someone involved in the process hears, is the handling of future content in relation to founders and season pass holders. To put it mildly, the final operation ends on a bit of a cliffhanger, and even beyond that, the lore has many unanswered questions. Battleborn has a lot of space to make additional content, should they have the go-ahead to do so. That said, how they would release this is kind of uncertain. For now, let's refer to this theoretical content as Season 2. Short and simple, my hope would be that this Season 2 would be included in the existing Season Pass as a continued loyalty reward to holders. Alternatively, to reference my previous point, should it not be included, a sharp discount for holders would also, I think, be positively received. To be clear, neither I nor any other players are entitled to such monetization. My assertion is simply, it would be a definite show of good faith in the parts of the community who have stuck with the game through thick and thin. We are owed nothing at the end of the day. These are just my ideas for solidifying community relations if Gearbox does wish to make efforts to do so further. And the efforts already haven't gone unappreciated. As mentioned earlier, I am generally a big fan of the change to free-to-play, and I know it can be easy to conflate criticism with complete negativity, but that is not my intent at all. I love this game and I love the change it made. Regardless of the handling or any of the points above, I'm excited to be able to follow along with the future of this game. I already have hundreds of hours in it, and I am thoroughly excited to play, stream, and record more. Obviously, I'm happy to see the game succeed, and I fully grasp that at the end of the day, business very likely will override community relations. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I genuinely love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, as this is related to a community that I'm just a single member of. I really look forward to the discussion here. Speaking of communities, subscribing here or following my Twitch channel would be fucking awesome of you, and expect lots more Battleborn down the road. But as always, until next time, beautiful people.